Vacuum sealers are absolute game changers for people who love to grill and barbecue. Since my first purchase many years ago, I've been recommending them because they've definitely upgraded my barbecue game. So I'm very excited about this review. We're unboxing and reviewing the INKBIRDPLUS Vacuum Sealer. It's a 10-in-1 sealer which allows for 10 times the food preservation. I'll be sharing its key features and discussing some usage scenarios that as a backyard barbecuer, you should start implementing as soon as you can. Also, I tried writing a few puns like I did on my last INKBIRD product review, but they all sucked. They all just kind of fell flat and sucked the air out of the room. But not to worry, the jokes I did sneak in here are airtight and impressive and will definitely get myself a seal of approval. Okay, bad puns aside, let's do a quick unboxing. This is what's included in the box. It comes with this canister sealing attachment. Here's where it plugs into. Next up is a removable power cable. I actually appreciate that this is removable. It makes it for easier storage, but be sure not to misplace the cord. If you're nervous about it, I'd say just leave the cable attached. Let's get the unit out of the box. And it comes with these labels you could stick on. You know, this is where you could keep track of weight and date you sealed them. It's very handy. And we can't forget the instruction manual. Not much to say here except it explains all the steps really well. But honestly, there's not a whole lot when it comes to sealing. It's all a very easy process and I'll show you shortly. We're also given some pre-cut bags. There are about 6 of them, which is enough to get you started, but you should definitely go online and get you some more bags. Let's get this unit out of the plastic wrapping, which ironically wasn't vacuum sealed. They did include a roll of sealer bags so you can cut your own custom bags. These rolls aren't as convenient as pre-cut bags, but they're more versatile since many foods you'll be sealing, you'll need a custom sized bag. It'll eliminate waste when sealing small quantities of food, and it'll allow you to seal larger pieces of meat. I highly recommend purchasing additional rolls of different widths and some pre-cut bags. You're going to be sealing a lot, I promise. The box also includes what appears to be replacement seal gasket material and some heat-resistant tape. This is in the event that it needs some replacing later on. Be sure to store away in a safe place and somewhere you'll easily find it when you need it. Machine has a nice build. It's very light, it's compact, which should make it very easy to store and put away. The other thing I should mention is these locks on the sides. They secure the door in place, which is what you want to do during the sealing process. To unlock, you simply press both buttons on each side and you could easily open it up without a problem. Here's everything that comes out in the box laid out for you. Let me give you a brief explanation of what these buttons do. First button is the seal button. This is a seal only option. Next button allows you to select the food type, which will either be moist or dry. The following button is the vac seal button, which is the fully automated feature that will vacuum seal your food and automatically seal it when it's done. How tight a seal is determined by the food type. Dry foods will get a much tighter seal. The next button is the pulse button. Think of this as a manual mode. I'll explain all of these features in more detail shortly, but the last button labeled canister, I will not be talking about it since I don't have any of the canisters available for me to test. Sorry about that. Vacuum sealers are game changers, and if you don't believe me, I'll demonstrate a few scenarios. The first scenario I'd like to talk about is vacuum sealing raw ingredients such as meat for long-term storage. Something barbecuers should be doing is buying meat on sale and then sealing it. Buying it on sale or in bulk will save you money, and the sealing will preserve your meat in the freezer for a very long time. Say goodbye to freezer burn. I'll be sealing these steaks, but first let me show you how to cut a custom sheet. Place in your roll and pull out your sheet like so, just so that it's underneath the cutter. Measure how large you want it and swipe away. Let's do another bag. The advantage to this roll is you can cut them as large or as small as you want. It all depends on what foods you're sealing. Pre-cut bags are convenient and all, but be sure to have a roll so you can easily make your own custom sizes for those specific foods that need to be sized. Next, you'll want to seal the bottom of the bag. Align the bag with the chamber, close, and hit the seal button. Once the red light is off, it's ready. Once the bottom of the bag is sealed, it's ready for me to vacuum seal these steaks. Place in your bag and align it to the chamber again. Close. Be sure the food setting is set to moist and hit the vac and seal button. This is a completely automated way of doing it. The moist button will eliminate or limit the amount of liquid being sucked up into the vacuum chamber while still maintaining a tight seal. Another thing worth mentioning is it's recommended you have at least 2-inch clearance between the food and the seal. Now, I don't use the dry food feature as much since most of the stuff I seal has moisture. But if you want to preserve dry materials or foods, then be sure to hit select that dry option. It'll have a much tighter seal because it doesn't have to worry about sucking up any of the moisture up in the bag and into the chamber. Let me vacuum seal the next steak with one of the pre-cut bags. As mentioned earlier, these bags are ready to go and the bottom of the bag is already sealed. Let's drop in our steak. Align the bag with our vacuum chamber and seal away. These steaks were placed in the freezer, and this is what they look like a few days later. I haven't had any broken seals during testing of this product, but if you're a belt and suspenders kind of person, well, I recommend going with the double seal, especially if you notice any liquid creeping up too close to the seal. As far as the pulse button, this is actually my favorite feature. You're basically kicking it into manual mode. You determine how much air you want out before you hit the seal button. This is great for soft items like bread, rice, or items you don't want broken up too much like chips. It also works great for saucy items like this chile rojo I made. Simply hit the pulse button, and when you let go, it'll stop. Once you get the majority of the air out and not have the sauce creep up into the chamber, hit the seal button and you're done. Pro tip, if you want a tighter seal of these saucy items, I recommend you drop the unsealed bag of food in the freezer to firm up a bit. Once firmed up, hit the vacuum and then the seal. If the item isn't completely frozen, I'd still recommend you use the pulse manual feature so you have full manual control. This freezing tip is also great if you want to seal more watery items such as soups and sauces. Now, how much does this vacuum seal suck? What kind of question is that? I'm offended for INKBIRD. Oh, you mean the sucking power, of course. The vacuum pressure is rated at -85 kPa. I'm only bringing up its sucking power to point out that a good, strong suction is critical to get an airtight seal. I know there's a dirty joke in there somewhere, but let's keep it G-rated, please. This thing is also very silent. It's rated at less than 65 dB. Now, I really don't know what that means, but it's nowhere close to being as loud as my blender. It's silent, so I don't think you'll be waking up any of your neighbors. Now for my second scenario, I'll be vacuum sealing some leftover barbecue. I know what you might be saying.
Hey, my barbecue's so good, there are no leftovers.
Wise guy, eh? I don't know about you, but certain barbecue items are amazing when it comes to leftover ideas. So I always cook up some extra food when I grill. So if you don't have any leftovers, make more food. Now, why wouldn't you want to make extra food? Leftovers are awesome. Vacuum sealing leftovers will extend its shelf life, which will limit food waste and in turn save you a bit of cash. If you don't plan to eat it at all that week, drop it in the freezer. Vacuum sealers will not only help you store leftover barbecue the best way possible, but it will also allow you to reheat barbecue leftovers the best way possible. Simply place your bag of barbecue in some hot water for 15 to 30 minutes. Cut the bag open and bam, instant barbecue. I won't lie, it's great having a nice little pouch of pulled pork in the freezer and reheat it whenever you're craving it. The thing that amazes me is that when I reheat barbecue this way, it tastes just like it came off the grill. If all you use your vacuum sealer was to seal and reheat barbecue, then it's money well spent. Believe me, there is no better way to reheat barbecue. Let's seal some more. I actually like to weigh out my leftovers into 1-pound bags. This is perfect for most leftover ideas. And it's easy not to drop in 2 bags if I want to make more food. I personally don't vacuum seal that much food in one shot, but keep in mind that if you do plan to seal a lot of food, this machine has an overheating protection system. Will ensure safe and reliable operation. If you push it too much, it will shut down on you. Speaking of safety, there are also safety locks, preventing accidental activation. However, as the instructions clearly explain, don't lock the lid during storage. You're supposed to leave the locks open. Now, we can't talk about vacuum sealers without talking about this last scenario, and it's no other than sous vide. I just recently got into sous vide, and without going off on too long of a tangent, you'll definitely need a vacuum sealer. This is so you could seal your food that you're about to cook. Now many people just use a Ziploc bag, but the air will just cause the bag to float up, which is a little annoying. So you'll definitely want to pick up a sealer to prevent this. Damn, we made a mess. After all that sealing, it's very important to clean. Now, if you're using the right sealing settings, this machine won't get too dirty on you. But if it does, give it a quick wipe with a cloth with some dishwashing soap. Give it a good dry. Once clean, store away unlocked. Now storing away is easy due to its small footprint. It's great for homes with limited space. The INKBIRD VS02 Vacuum Sealer is an impressive little machine. Now vacuum sealers will save you money, reduce food waste, and it'll upgrade your barbecue game. Now if you're in the market for a sealer, I'm going to be dropping the link down below in the description. I'll see you on the next one.